the other parameters of amplifier. You have what is called as current gain. I told you in common base is not used because the current gain is very poor. The current gain in common emitter and common collector are relatively good. Voltage gain, common base and common emitter will have almost same voltage gain, but CE does not provide voltage gain. And power gain, so multiply these two. The power gain is also very good, excellent for common emitter only. Common collector has a very poor power gain, common base has a very poor power gain. Input resistance, input resistance should be, I told you input resistance should be very very high, which is possible only in CC. Because why I'm input resistance should be very very high? Can anybody say the reason for that? Why the input resistance should be very high for any circuit? Why can't it be low? What is the reason for having high input resistance? Yes, I need answers. Please open up and say the answer. Don't be silent. It's not going to work out. Yeah, ultimately you will not learn anything if you are going to be silent. Why the input resistance of any circuit has to be very high? If resistance is very high, what does it mean? If
To control
resistance,
the input current, sir.
yes. What is the advantage of controlling the input current?
To
You
have a higher current gain on
very
the
good.
output side.
So as you said, I should have very high in resistance to control the current, and this has two benefits. One is my current is less, so the device will not damage. One point. Second point is, since my current is less, I am not going to burden my source. My source will be operating in a safe way. So by having a less current requirement at the input side, two things are satisfied. One is my source is safe. Second thing, my circuit is safe. Okay, that is why any circuit you design, the input impedance should be always taken care. It should be very, very high. You see here in the table, the input impedance for common collector is very, very high. But common collector has a very poor power gain. Next, you see common emitter, the input impedance is high. So I choose common emitter. It is decent, 1K, almost 1K, right? So, and it also has a decent amount of power gain. Even though the input impedance is not very high, it is reasonably okay for me. Okay. And last, output resistance. Output resistance should be high or low for any device. Output resistance should be high or low. Say the answer and justify why you are
Low,
saying
sir.
that. Why it should be low?
To produce high output current, sir.
Okay, in a way it is correct. Can you rephrase that in a different way? See, only when your output resistance is small, the current will easily flow towards your load. From the circuit, the current will flow towards your load. So output, you will get better output when the output resistance is very, very small. So two requirements, input resistance should be very high and output resistance should be very, very small. And that is satisfied. You see, common collector has very, very less output resistance, but I cannot use that again because my power gain is not there in common collector. See the next thing, 45.5K is provided by common emitter and I'm going to use that. So in all ways, you see common emitter is going to be the best choice among the amplifiers, either based on H parameters or based on the other parameters of an amplifier. So I'm going to study the common emitter amplifier in detail and I'm going to derive the expression for all these voltage gain, power gain, current gain, input resistance and output resistance for common emitter amplifier configuration. See, whatever numerical value you study, whether it may be H parameters or the other amplifier parameters, you should clearly know what is the theoretical value, what is the ideal value, and whether this value should be high or low. If it is high, what is going to happen? If it is less, what is going to happen? Is that going to be a drawback or not? See, everything you should be very clear. The moment I say voltage gain, the moment I say input resistance, the moment I say output resistance, you should clearly know that what this parameter is going to cause effect in my circuit. whether this parameter is going to influence the behavior of my circuit. So it's all relating things and understanding. That is all electronics is all about. So unless you don't relate things, it is going to be very, very difficult for you.